We're live. Again, episode 20. That's 10 twice. So much better than 14.
Welcome to the Double D Show.
Dan and Doug, Double D
Titties.
Podcast.
Oh, Dan and Doug, sorry. I was thinking on the wrong show.
That's okay. Titties are good too.
Going back to this because...
Back to the old recording method.
Yeah, because it picks out all those clips that I used to throw up.
Yeah.
I just hit it, and it magically picks them all out and sends them to me. And all I had to do was load them.
Well, that's
when I did it the other way, it was like, oh, I got to go through this. I don't have enough time to do that every week.
I get that.
That's why there hasn't been very many clips. So.
And last episode, it was the YouTube one, right?
Yeah.
It looked like it looked a little
grainy,
and there were parts where it like stuttered.
Cut out.
It cut out a bit.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know if it was the bad internet or if it was just the processing power wasn't there. I don't know. But hey, you know what? Old school. That's how we roll. That's what we like. That's what we do.
We need a producer. Chris?
Emmy.
Okay.
Emily with 2 E's can be our producer. Chris can be our tech expert, cameraman, hype guy, search guy. Or somebody has to be... Okay, so we need a Jamie. We've talked about this before.
Right.
The person who, like, we say something and all of a sudden the screen lights up and Joe looks over half high and Stone is like, yeah, that's what I was talking about. And then there it is.
Yeah, he produces.
So would that be the producer?
I think he's called the producer.
You know what? I think that they could be a mom and pop producer team. They could come up here once a week to help us out.
Mom and pop.
Mom and pop.
Yeah. Dan
and Doug, Mom and Pop. Double D E C. The Dick.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It has.
1 week?
No, it's been more than a week. We were supposed to record. We didn't record the one Monday and we recorded the Friday instead, I feel like. Did we do that?
No.
And then we didn't record last Monday because that was Was that Christmas or New Year's?
Last week?
No. The Monday before that was like Christmas or New Year's.
I don't know.
I feel like we were supposed to record, and it was a holiday, so we're like,
We recorded one right prior to Christmas, and that was released on the 24th, which was the 25th on the Monday.
Right. We were supposed to record on
Monday. Then we recorded again with Emily was here. Chris was sitting over there. Remember?
Barely. Chris was like halfway, 1 foot in the grave over there.
Yeah, we were doing our podcast, and Denise and him were having a big conversation.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I just couldn't remember which day it was. I just know that
that was the last one, I think.
Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks because
and then we did the live YouTube one.
I thought, oh yeah, that's right. And we were talking.
We really missed last week because I was
I
had cold.
You know what? I got a lot of emails from a lot of people that were pretty upset that we didn't have an episode for them on Monday.
Like who?
Myself.
All 12 of them.
You, Emily, Chris, Nat, and Denise.
12 people listened to our last one.
Really?
Yeah.
12.
Up to 12.
I wonder who they are.
Normally it's 8.
I wonder who
Hey, if you're listening to our podcast, just drop us an email, please, and just say, hey, I'm listening to it. It's me.
And you can contact us directly at doubledsegments@gmail.com. Is that the email? Let me find out for you. So you can get a hold of Mr. Vane. That's what I put my name as. Yes. Mr. last name Vane. So yeah, Double D Segments. DOUBLEDSEGMENTS @gmail. And you can get a hold of me or Doug, because I can always forward emails to Doug. We know how to do that.
You could drop a comment on one of our social media pages.
That's probably way easier.
I threw up a fishbowl question the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Would you rather... What the hell was it? I'll have to look it up on Facebook.
Oh, shit. There were some
good ones. I got a few responses.
Did you? Oh, I just got a message from you.
Did you?
Yeah. Something, what do we got here? A you some weird symbol, and then a clock. You knock. Is that like a punch knocked out symbol?
But well, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. You sent it.
What would you ask me?
I said, do we need anything for the recording? And you said you.
Yeah.
Punch, like stars and spinners, and then an alarm clock. You're like one of these kids that communicate through emojis.
So I posted questions from the fishbowl.
And you got some responses.
Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse?
Oh, yeah, I responded to that.
Lots of people responded to it, actually.
What did you get? Let's hear some of these.
So we have... so most people said zombies. Zombies. Somebody said... Joe Todd said zombies much easier.
Mm.
He said zombies means less people to listen to. Although all the zombies would be going...
I'd rather listen to that than some of the friggin' people out there.
Well, no, it's either zombies or robots.
Yeah, robots are all I'm sorry, T-800s never said anything. They just walked around with their metal heads and didn't say shit. They just killed you and at least did it quietly.
Nat said ditto. That wasn't one of the options.
I think she was saying ditto to whatever you said as an answer.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then Denise said robots.
Robots. I don't know, man. Robots are fucking scary.
Yeah,
they can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. They don't feel pity or remorse or fear, and they absolutely will not stop until you are dead.
Yeah, robots they're so powerful.
Yeah,
and they can move fast.
Zombies are like the thing is, I would think robots wouldn't be in quite the numbers that the zombies would be in. Zombies would be, well, depending on which zombies you're going with, they'd be swarming and climbing over shit.
Yeah, who knows? Like it's you can kill zombies.
You can kill robots too, though. I mean, if you're somewhat prepared for it, depends on the robot.
I've seen them beat the shit out of. Sorry about that. I've seen them beat the shit out of robots.
You know what would be even more interesting is if we were caught in an apocalypse of both robots and zombies and they weren't on the same side. And we were just the resource they were fighting over. I had an idea once long ago about the idea of a world where humans were pretty much living under the thumb of vampires. And when a zombie outbreak happens, if those zombies eliminate the humans, that eliminates the vampire's food source. So the vampires need to team up with the humans to take care of the zombies. Because if all the humans are gone, the zombies or the vampires die.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was like a three-way.
That's a good twist.
I thought so. You get, the slave owners joining up with the slaves to take out the virus.
They got more comments here. They don't show up.
More for that same one?
Yeah, this guy, Ray, says zombies. Mostly everybody said zombies. Kevin said zombies. Everybody said zombies except for Denise, of course.
Wow. Denise has unique taste. But we like that about her.
Zombies. Hey, so a lot of news is coming out about The Last of Us.
Yeah, that was actually, I was thinking about that, and then I thought something else that might be fun to do for our 20th episode is to go back to each episode we've recorded and kind of like build on whatever it is we talked about that episode. If there was some news that's come out that pertains to that episode, and one of the things being talking about episode 7, The Lost of Us, with the news that's come out about that. But we don't have to do that shit in sequence. Let's just do it now. The Last of Us. And there's more than one thing of news too. They've done casting for Abby. Mm-hmm. They've also done casting for another character. I think they've cast Dina, who's Ellie's girlfriend in the second game, who's a very big character. And then there's confirmation that they're working on a third game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when it's supposed to take place or who it's supposed to focus on, but yeah, apparently that's happening. And there's a documentary coming out. They did a documentary about the first game called Grounded, because Grounded is the hardest difficulty you can play The Last of Us on. And they're doing a second documentary about making the second game, and what a shit show it was making the second game. Because it was around the time they were partway into it when the pandemic really hit.
Right.
Yeah. So there's show casting, game confirmation, and documentary coming out. So a lot of exciting shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, which stuff did you know about?
Just been seeing some stuff about casting and how they're getting ready to start filming in the next couple of months.
Yeah, the one girl, the girl that's playing Abby, I actually saw her recently on that show, Raylan Gibbons, that we both really like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was really good in it. And all joking aside, I remember seeing it all over the internet. People talking about their dream casting for Ellie and Joel, and it was her as Ellie and the guy who plays Jaime Lannister as Joel, which I think could have worked. A lot of combinations could have worked, but she has more of Abby's look. She doesn't have to present exactly the way Abby did. Abby's fucking huge.
Yeah,
she's a jacked chick. She's all shoulders, arms. She's massive, right? She's built like a fucking man, essentially, and clobbers the shit out of anybody who comes near her. I don't think they're going to get that tiny little girl to look like that. They can have her build herself up, and look stronger, but she's not going to have the physically imposing energy of Abby from the game. But she doesn't have to.
Right.
Yeah. Even Pedro Pascal doesn't have the size that Joel has in the game. Joel's a big fucker, man. When he hits people in the game, it feels like bricks are hitting flesh. You ever see Home? Of course you've seen Home Alone 2. When Marv's taking bricks to the face, that's what a punch from Joel feels like.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's very exciting.
So that probably won't be out till...
We gotta wait. They're about to start filming. I saw something the other day, and it was talking about when they were going to start filming again. So it's not for a little bit still, but soon. It's coming up.
Yeah.
And then we can do The Lost of Us Part 2 when we've watched Season 2 of the show.
Maybe we'll do a week-by-week fucking analysis of each episode.
Oh, yeah, we can make that a segment.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I like that idea. But then again, I love me some Last of Us. What else is going on in the news?
Well, let me... Nothing good.
No, not usually.
So,
week to week, it's a big pile of shit. Did you see my video about owning a home in Canada?
Yeah.
I've gotten so many angry messages about that. Like I'll read some of these out to you.
But you don't get the chair.
Because apparently people don't like it when people make messages or make videos complaining about the housing market in Canada. Now totally fucked it is, but some of these I was reading,
because if we don't talk about it, then it's not happening.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this thing? Okay, here it is. Let's see. 24 messages. Okay. One person wrote, "The sad, discouraging truth," to which I replied, "Time to leave Ontario behind." She wrote, "Harder to do for an older person." Maybe. Someone said, "My in-laws..."
How old you are. Depends how old you are, I guess.
Someone said, "My in-laws said we were nuts for buying a house for $235,000 in 2016. Let's just say I'm glad my wife was on the same page as today. Today's market is awful." Someone said, CMHC built 12 homes in 8 years, record productivity. Someone said, "So now JT is selling real estate, ridiculous statement." Which I replied, "He has said his plan is to build 3,000 of these snow houses by 2026 to help the Canadian people." And there was somebody who was just pissed off. I can't remember. I don't know where the replies are. I think they were up to that first or second comment, but yeah, I don't know if it's I stepped into a political landmine there, or oh wait, there's the one with all the replies. So when I replied about him planning to build the snow houses, the guy writes, "Really dumb comment. Feds should not even be in the housing business and leave it to the province to sort out. What are the con premiers doing to address this? Nothing is what I see. I replied, because anytime I make a joke, and then they're like, but blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, what would you do? So I replied, what do you think needs to happen to fix the current situation with housing? So let's hear what you think, genius. And he said, it really comes down to supply and demand. Been like this for over 20 years. Artificially low interest rates created this problem. 7% would stop the huge increase, but now we are stuck.
Supply and demand, which means supply and demand. There's more people now than there are houses.
Basically.
So how does supply and demand? What that comment? I'm not 100% sure.
I feel like supply and demand is just like a buzz sentence or a buzz combination of buzzwords.
I understand supply and demand when you're talking about housing prices, but we don't even have enough homes to house the amount of people that are now in Toronto and other places, right?
Yeah.
So supply and demand doesn't. There's a demand for, like, how does that help the house? Like that comment.
No, and that's the thing. Again, I don't understand the entirety of it. I just know it's fucked, and it's not going to get better. And it's the numbers speak for themselves. Mortgage rates are going to get so fucking high. Even a two-income family won't be able to get a home unless you have like $200,000 worth of equity in something else.
Oh.
Like for people who have owned one or two homes, they might be okay. They'll be probably living check to check, but everyone else is
they think by taxing short-term rentals that's somehow going to cure the housing market. Fuck. Anyhow,
I just thought it was a funny video because me and my son were outside making a snow fort.
I laughed.
I know, and I brought the chairs over so that we could sit in it, and he's looking at me like, what is this? I'm like, it's a snow fort. He's like, there's no roof. It's like, it's a fort. There isn't supposed to be a roof. We just sit in it. The walls are a foot high and the snow is shit. And he was expecting walls. And I'm like, no, you know how heavy this freaking snow is? And then I went out to do something and I thought, oh, you know what would be funny? These are the houses that Trudeau expects us to live in. But yeah. So there's that.
Didn't was it Peterborough? They bought fucking ice huts, those tents, the ice fishing tents, and put them up in the city for some homeless people.
Oh my god!
Hey, look, we got housing. Or one city had a bunch of sheds.
You can get one of those
sheds.
$120,000 could get you one of those ice sheds. Yeah, you could buy it and they'll set you up in a tent city, just like in District 9.
Shit in a bucket.
Shit in a bucket and throw it out when it gets full.
So listen, TikTok man.
Yeah?
What's this with the $1 million man going on here? You're famous now? Are you going to do your own show? The Dan Show?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do the producing. You can do the Dan Show.
The problem is...
Mr. Vane. $1 million fucking man. $6 million, $1 million fucking
First of all, you don't get a dollar review. So, funny story. Christmas Day, my son gets a toy, a Minecraft sword, right? And it's cool because it looks like the pickaxe from Minecraft, but you pull the top out and it becomes the handle to the sword. And the handle has these things that shoot out, and then it looks like the Minecraft sword. So it goes back and forth from being the pickaxe and the sword. And I thought, oh, that's a cool toy. So he's opening up all his other toys and playing with all this shit. And I was sitting on the couch, and my mom's sitting over there. And I'm like, I think this thing's really cool. I'm going to make a quick little video. So I record myself.
Did you buy it for your son?
Yeah, me and my wife bought it off Amazon.
Because he liked it.
Actually, I didn't know.
Because you wanted to play with it.
You ever hear about...
Because you knew you could do a TikTok and fucking be $1 million man on TikTok.
But you ever see those memes of like fathers watching their kids open up their Christmas gifts to see what they got? Because they have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I knew she got him a Minecraft toy. I didn't know it. I forgot that it did the thing. So anyway, it's Christmas morning, and we have our family Christmas pants on. We do this every year. We all wear the same Christmas pajamas. So I'm sitting there on the couch, cross-legged, wearing my big Christmas pajamas, playing with the sword, recording myself. My mom makes a crack. Is that your favorite toy? I'm like, yes, it is my favorite toy. So I put this video up, and it does, 200-300 views, a couple of comments, mostly people I've known for years. And then I start seeing comments that aren't in English. And the first time I saw one, I forgot that you can just click on the comment, scroll down to translate. I totally forgot. Somebody commented in another language, and I just wrote thanks.
What was the comment?
It was where do I get this?
Oh.
I think it was like where would I get this?
Right.
And I just wrote thanks because I forgot you can translate. I wasn't going to copy it, paste it into a translator. I wasn't even sure what language it was. And then it starts blowing up a little more, and I start seeing all these other comments in this other language. And I tell Nat, I'm like, that video is getting a lot of traction. I'm getting a bunch of comments. And she's like, yeah, I saw. Why didn't you translate it? And I was like, I didn't. I forgot. So I start looking and realized like 20 people have commented, this guy asked how to get this, and the guy says thanks. And why is he wearing a sarong?
What?
A sarong.
What's a sarong?
A sarong. I'm going to Google what a sarong is for you, because this is the other part of why this video, I think, went so viral. Sarong.
So they're all pissed off because you didn't
That's
answer the
a
guy.
sarong.
Okay.
So a sarong is sometimes worn for prayer. It's worn in...
Kind of like a wraparound type of skirt.
A sarong or a sarung is a large tube or length of fabric often wrapped around the waist, worn in Southeast Asia, South Asia, Western Asia, North Africa. It was not a sarong. I was wearing Christmas pajamas. So you got three things working for you that made this video go boom. One, Minecraft, because everybody fucking loves Minecraft. It's been around forever. Kids love it. People who originally started playing it have their own kids now. So, sorry, am I boring you, Doug?
No, I'm looking up the sarong.
So,
Go.
that the basic subject matter is something people could get behind. It has a huge fan base. The fact that I accidentally said thanks to this guy from Indonesia, and then it got shared to a whole bunch of other people from Indonesia, and then the fact that people thought I was wearing a sarong, even though they were just pajama pants.
So this is something they wear over there, sarongs.
Yeah, they wear them in Indonesia, and I think they wear them in some other countries, because people were asking me if I was Muslim, why you couldn't see the top of the sarong. Like, what? There were a lot of questions about that, and I kept replying back, no, these are just Christmas pajamas. And eventually it evolved into this huge, everyone was sharing it to each other. Everyone wanted this toy. They wanted to know where to get it. And I just would translate every comment and reply and let people know. It's called the Minecraft Transforming Sword Pickaxe, and it's on Amazon. And over the course of, when was it, yesterday?
Oh, you are wearing a sarong.
Fuck off. It's not a sarong, damn it. It's just the way I was sitting. That's how I sit. I sit cross-legged. I don't know. I'm like, shit, man, I don't know. So I guess they thought it was funny that some big white dude was wearing a sarong and playing with a kid's toy. But the one thing I'll say, and it's the thing about the whole experience with getting 1 million views for the first time, getting more than 200,000, like the most I ever got before was 175, I think, on the video I did about horsepower. And that was because I found a group of people on TikTok that were really into racing. And when I made just a video joking about horsepower in movies, how they fuck it up. I'd never gotten that many views. So the greatest takeaway from this is that all the interactions I had with people were very positive. Like, in the past, when I was on YouTube back in the day, every fucking comment was negative.
Yeah.
People were so mean.
Yeah.
Always making fun of my weight, making fun of the way I looked, the way I talked. It was so damn negative. And I don't know if people from Indonesia and other countries are just more respectful. I don't know if the TikTok algorithm just deleted all the comments that sounded shitty. That could be it, because sometimes that happens. But it was really nice to just have a really positive interaction. And people liked the thing. they ask me how to get it, I let them know. And I got compared to a few different actors.
Like?
Well, the old classic Jack Black. I get Jack Black a lot. Somebody said I look like an angry Chris Pratt.
Okay.
Yeah. One guy, I'd never gotten this before. He said, "You look like Ares from the Percy Jackson TV show." And I had to look that up. Do you ever watch wrestling?
A long time ago.
Okay. Do you know who Edge was?
Oh, yeah. Edge. You know Edge was from Orangeville, eh?
Yeah, he's a Canadian guy, right?
Yeah, from Orangeville. The guy I played baseball with, when he grew up, he was his neighbor, and they were on the same baseball team.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, one person said I look like him.
Three degrees of separation.
Apparently, yeah. Not bad. Not bad at all. And one person, and I couldn't believe this one, I told Nat, and she fucking laughed so hard. Alan Richardson.
Alan Richardson.
The guy who plays Reacher.
Oh.
I said that to Nat, and she's like, "You mean Alan Rickman?" I'm like, "No, not Alan Rickman." And I told her the guy who plays Reacher, and she has this laugh that it's like she loads it. She goes back, her mouth goes open, and it's just like, and I was like, "Wow,
I guess she
thanks."
didn't think so.
She's like, he's like a foot taller than you. I'm like, shut up. I could, I mean, I get it. No, but when Reacher's at his most grumbly, yeah, maybe.
The new Reacher.
Yeah. No, I look nothing like Tom Cruise. Well, that's the thing. I'm the complete. You got Tom Cruise.
No, there was another Reacher in between Tom Cruise and the guy right now.
Oh no,
You sure? I think so.
I don't think so. Tom Cruise did Reacher, and then Reacher Never Go Back, and then he never did a third movie.
There's a series, right?
Yeah.
I thought I saw.
There's two seasons of the series.
I saw something where the guy doing it now. Somebody had mentioned something about somebody previous.
The person previous was Tom Cruise. And Tom, again, Reacher in the books is huge. He's a monster.
Right.
That's how he's described, as being a massive, huge man.
Not 4'5". Like
not
Tom
4'5" like Tom Cruise. No, but the thing about Tom Cruise is he's a small guy, but he brought Reacher's energy to the role.
Yeah.
Because he kicked the living shit out of so many people. And as I'm watching him do it, I don't think to myself, I can't see him doing that. Tom Cruise does action really well.
Fucked up fucking stunts, man.
He does. And there's a scene, it's one of my favorite scenes in Reacher, where this girl comes on to him in a bar and he kind of blows her off and she acts like she's insulted, and her friends come over to like defend her honor and tell him to step outside. And he's like, you know, guys, you can still walk away from this. And they're like, there's 5 of us, man. 5 on 1. He's like, it's 3 on 1. And they're like, can you count? He's like, yeah. And once the leader goes down, usually 2 of the other guys run off. So it's 3 on 1. And then he takes out the first 2 guys. He's holding the one guy in a headlock, looks at the other 2. He's like, what are you doing, guys? Are you staying or are you going? And they stay, and he kicks the shit out of all of them.
Right.
But I didn't know the details of the book until after. And I love the first movie. And I mean, yeah, I found out all that stuff after about how big Reacher is in the books, but honestly, I didn't give a shit. I love them. The first one's better than the second, but the show is great. We just watched the episode 7 of season 2 yesterday. Are you watching it?
Reacher? No.
Oh my God.
No.
There's very few characters that satisfy my need for revenge the way Reacher does. He fucks people up that deserve being fucked up. And in so many shows or movies where someone's like, well, you'll get yours in jail. He's like, nah, I'm going to kill this fucking guy. And what he did to somebody in the episode yesterday turned my fucking stomach, and every man who watches it would just be like, oh, fuck. It's a type of torture I didn't even think could exist. And it was like, yeah, fucking bastard deserved it, so it was all good.
Lovely.
I recommend it. And hey, there's a show that's actually named after the character. So you'll love it. You'll never forget the title.
So Justified is based on books. The books are called Raylan.
They are?
Yes.
Okay, so I wish you'd said that how many episodes ago? 13? 13 episodes ago?
Well, I would have if you didn't cut me off the first time.
Okay, this is the last time we're going to talk about this. Because
there's nobody here to fucking go, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Episode 20, I think we should finally put this to rest. Because
all right, anyways.
This is the thing.
No, we're done. Move on.
No, this is the thing. This is the last thing I'll say. While we were having that conversation, I was genuinely interested in what you were talking about. I wanted to hear about the show you were going to talk about. And I could tell you were thinking of the title and you couldn't think of it. And then I realized what you were talking about. And I said, "Oh, you're talking about Justified." You got irritated with me for saying that.
No. Here's the thing. Because you called me stupid.
I never called you stupid.
Here's the thing. Because we were talking about that character.
Really?
No, the bad guy, right? That was in
Logan?
Huh?
The bad guy from Logan?
No, he was like he was in the cop show about the drug lord.
Narcos. Yeah, the guy that
dude, right?
But he was also in Logan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about him,
right?
And I was trying to say he was in, and I couldn't remember the thing, and I said to Raylan Givens, and you said Justified. Yeah. Well, he's not in Justified. He's in the second series, which is called Primal City or whatever.
Okay.
So it's not even Justified anyways.
But you were talking about Raylan Givens
because he's,
and you said he's a U.S. Marshal, and I was like, oh, you're talking about Justified.
Yeah, I was trying to explain it.
So
but anyway,
basically,
it wasn't even Justified. I was talking about the other show, not
right.
Justified. Anyways,
but I realize now. One of the things I do, and it's one of the things I need to work on as a person, is when I feel like somebody's pissed at me when I'm just trying to help. Like, because I said, "Oh, you're talking about Justified." I was kind of like throwing you the thing, and you were like irritated with me. You're like, "Yeah, that's what I said." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I was like, now I got to fire back.
It was all good.
And I regret it. Because I don't regret it, but I mean, fuck it. The last thing you want to do is.
I really give a flying fuck.
I don't think either of us do.
What?
Pound it out. Give me a fucking fist bump. God damn it. And it's put to bed. But we'll probably still chirp each other about it every now and then. Oh, he's reached for a knife. Here we go.
It's my steak knife.
You know, I saw that out here last episode. And I was like, did he leave it out here for me to say something, or did he leave it by accident? And it's like, don't touch the knife I used to cut my food. Did you cut paper? Did you cut paper with it?
What? You could.
I saw.
It's sharp as shit.
Were you having? Okay, so the other night, you posted a picture that looked like you were getting ready for dinner. Yeah. And I noticed you've got this awesome steak knife in front of your plate and some shitty old regular steak knife in front of Denise's. And I was like, really?
So I got one. Garrett, my two sons all got one.
Oh, okay.
All a little bit different.
Oh, yeah, I saw the three.
The picture of the three of them?
Yeah,
so we each got one, all a little bit different.
Oh. Right? Oh, that makes sense. I thought that you had all three.
No, so when Garrett came over, we had steak once. We pulled out our knives to eat steak. And he used to going, we got real fucking steak knives over there. I'm like, this is a fucking steak knife.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes. Wonder if they'd let you bring that into the keg. I have a permit. I have a carry permit for this steak knife. The cut's good, though?
Well, it's sharp. Oof. It's deadly sharp.
Well, no one's going to interrupt you during dinner.
Hit some mishaps. So, yeah.
So, yeah. I'm a little big for my britches now. I'm in the millionaire club. I'm going to require at least 6 more people to start listening to this podcast. You know
what I thought about?
What?
So when we go on TikTok,
hey puppy,
you gotta link up to a Bluetooth speaker. That way we can hear the fucking people on there.
Oh,
because when we have live guests on,
yeah, you can't hear shit. The speaker on this phone is crap. That's my one complaint.
If I get that, hook it up to a little Bluetooth speaker, and then it'll come out louder.
Okay. And the thing is, we've done a few podcasts where we have a YouTube, and if we do a segment, fine. But trying to get people throughout it, you never know who the hell you're going to get. And I feel like so many times you get people and they just tank it. So I almost want...
We've had a few good ones.
We have had a few good ones, and that's why I keep going back to it. It's like a bar that you keep going to because one time you picked up some nice strange, and the slash there has got at least one good swing. But the other times you get a lot of bombers and grenades.
That's who's out there.
That's who's out there. I'm so thankful I never had the date in my 30s. Like, so thankful. And now I'm in my damn 40s. I tell you, nowadays it's a whole other game out there. No thanks. But totally different.
But but I mean, we picked up a few followers on our thing through there, though, doing TikTok. Some of the people.
Well, hey, and I mean, I'm still down for doing content on there and posting the things, but I don't want to fall into that trap of where I'm doing this. The amount of times I'd be watching one of the podcasts, and I just feel like the energy kind of drowns out a bit, and it's like I'm looking at the thing and trying to.
Well, the majority of the people don't watch it; just listen to it. So out of the 12 people, maybe one or two watched it. You and me.
That's probably better for us if people aren't watching it.
But most people listen. Excuse me.
It's because of your gravelly voice and my annoying contrast to it.
So speaking of gravelly voices, I saw something come out on something got declassified or not declassified, but resurrected.
You're talking about the Epstein list?
No.
I was like, are you about to talk about Stephen Hawking's obsession with what is it? I don't know if someone made this up.
The fucking memes on that. Like, memes are probably the next form of like comedy.
Oh, they have been for a while now.
But the fucking memes of
Stephen Hawking
going to Epstein's Island.
I saw something, and I don't know if it's true or if people are just they're spinning it the way they want to spin it.
Oh, baby.
It was something.
Suck on my toe.
Oh, God. It was something about what his thing was, the thing he liked to watch, his kink. And I don't know if someone was just trying to be a total dickbag, but they said that he liked to watch, and I don't know what the correct term is for this, so I'm just going to go with what I'm sure Warwick Davis will be fine with. He liked to watch dwarves and or midgets trying to solve equations naked on blackboards where they couldn't quite reach the writing. Granted, I heard that on like a clip from another podcast. It was probably. Oh God, I don't know if it's true. I heard it from another podcast. It's probably bullshit. Sorry, that's not funny. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Okay, so now that I've gotten that out of my system, what were you going to say? Oh, man, we're going to hell. Oh, my face hurts. Something about a gravelly voice? Something about Nick Nolte?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. You okay? Good luck getting that visual out of your head.
Go. Dude, here. Where was I going?
I don't know, but you know what I just realized?
What?
What's in the fridge?
Nothing.
We have nothing in the fridge?
No. Actually, there might be one in there. There's some vodka things in there, I think.
Well, hey, it's episode 20. We may as well diversify. That's funny. I was looking at some.
Well, I know how to go with the resurrected thing.
Resurrected?
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, I can't. I'll leave, and then we're just going to be blank here. So,
can't see anything. Is that a Buble? Monster?
Yeah.
Iced tea? Is this the thing you're talking
There's a
about?
coffee, beer in there, and then everything on the top
Tell me
left.
there's something other than the coffee beer.
Top left is all vodka, soda things.
What is this? Is Denise going to kick my ass if we drink this?
No, she doesn't drink those.
Okay.
Well, she does. She drinks everything.
Oh, the mug sucker?
Yeah, I was going to get the mugs. I just didn't want to leave the...
Leave the frame. Can't have the frame blank. Dead air. So I'll tell you, I mean, there's one thing I've noticed on TikTok, and I don't know if other media has this as well so much, but if you put out a video that gets a crazy response, and you get, I must have gotten about 500 new followers from this video. It got favorited 5,000 times, over 1,000 comments, but at no point did any of the million people who watch this video think, I wonder what this guy's other videos are like. Maybe I'll go look at some of them.
Yeah.
Like I've got one of our podcast videos, the cult one. Would you like to talk about the cult? I've got that one pinned on my profile. And I would think, if someone's viewing the profile, they'd probably check out the pinned videos, right? The ones that are right at the top.
Right.
You pick the ones you want that are featured right at the top. Nothing. No Indonesian comments on any of those videos. I thought, how awesome would it be if, even if the video wasn't related to the podcast, if I put one out on that profile and it got a huge response, maybe people would be like, I wonder what else this guy's done. And it might bring some attention. If we had a huge Indonesian fan base, I'd be thrilled. It'd be great. I'd learn how to say some phrases. Apparently, bang is something there.
Mango mule.
Mango mule.
Yep. Ready to drink with mango and ginger.
Let's bring it on. Let's get out of our formal layer.
Diversifying.
Let's just sit back, relax, and throw on a sarong. Why the hell not?
A song?
Sarong.
A song?
A sarong.
What sarong would you like to sing?
Hey, sarong, sarong. Whatever will be, will be.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry. I very rudely interrupted what you were about to say, and I cut you short. Fuck it. Fuck it twice. Better than most of the stuff we've had on here.
Yeah.
Crisp, refreshing, and there's alcohol in it.
Chris? Did you say Chris?
Crisp.
Oh. Anyways, so Chris finally released some lost footage.
Oh.
The lost footage of
Speaking of gravelly voices.
Biscuit and the Cookie, or whatever it's called.
Kilo and the Cookie.
Yeah.
Actually, and I remember talking to him about this. I don't know if he finally changed it, but I've been meaning to read the original script and then look at the scene, because it's, of course, everything changes. Where the hell is it?
So Kilo and the Cookie is
Kilo and the Cookie
is
yeah.
a section of Those Who Remain.
Yes,
it was segment.
It was supposed to be in episode 7, I think. Yeah, it was supposed to take place after the mid-season finale, which plans for the mid-season finale where it was going to be this huge action sequence. Pugsley was going to get killed. Tara and Jetlag were going to run into... Tara and Grizz were going to run into Jetlag. It was a whole huge thing that was going to happen. And we filmed the Percy scene first, which was supposed to be in episode 4. And it got edited because all we needed was one scene for 3. And then we ended up filming this other scene that was going to come much later. And the footage sat for shit. What, 8? Oh, how long ago was that?
Yeah, long time.
Hold on. So I go into my photo and I look for picture of Doug. and I will be able to find the day that this happened. Look at this. This is you. This is Doug. And then I scroll back at all the times I've ever taken a picture of Doug. A lot of podcast stuff here. Well, a lot of this is podcast stuff, right? There's podcast
That's like
Doug.
fucking creeping on fucking.
There's the day we filmed the flintlock scene.
What's with that one there?
Which one?
That one there.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just recording, and you like jumped in front of the frame, so I just grabbed that frame. Even this, that's like a split second of you taking the gun out. It was like as I was panning back to Chris, and I just caught this great shot of you with the handgun, and that's the one I turned into the one of you pulling up the vegetables.
Right.
But that was that day. This was the day, June 3rd.
2022.
Yeah, that was 2023. So back in June, yeah, I came to you on June 2nd, and we scouted the location, and you took me for a ride in the Argo. Remember that?
When did the really? Okay.
And then
it's only last year.
Yeah. And then we filmed that scene, and I I always talk about how I almost died during that scene because somebody who was the stunt coordinator had things. I get it. Your family showed up, and you got your family comes before the guy you just met, even if he dies in the process. But it was nice to see that scene edited together, and that the day he posted it was the same day I got the fucking million views on the TikTok, and I was more excited about the like getting to see that scene. Like that was huge for me because for one I felt kind of bad because those I can't remember their names.
Yeah.
And I feel like a dick for that, but hold on, because Chris made the post and hopefully I can pull it up. But they
in the post, needed
them in the post because I one of the things I said to him when I was trying to get him to finally edit it together. So I was like, hey man, those people came out. Oh, hold on, I got their names here. Kevin Tajeda? No, Kevin was the guy who played Miles. So Kevin, who was great, and then Emily and Brian was a married couple who we've been trying to get people to play these damn scavengers that I kill in the scene for months. We'd both gone through people trying to find. I was trying to get a friend of mine, the friend who I wanted to play Percy, but he backed out, and then we got somebody Chris knew like last minute. I was trying to get people to play these two damn characters where we could really practice some things, get some stuff going. We had nothing until the day of, where the night before, Chris had posted something, and two people were going to a wedding in the area the day before, and we're like, oh, this would be fun. The wife was like, oh, maybe I'll go do this, and her husband drove her, and the other person didn't show up. So she stepped up, and her husband stepped up too, and they played like a couple going around scavenging and trying to kill innocent young men. Didn't work because they ran into the biscuit.
Well, you want to see that footage? Go to Fruitbox.
It's actually not officially posted.
Oh, you can go to. Oh, you have to join the group to see it.
That's the thing, right? Or it has to be shared to you by somebody who has access to it. But I said to Chris, I was like, why don't you upload this? He's like, well, if we ever want to do anything with it. And it's like, so what? If we ever do anything with it, we take it off, delete it from YouTube.
So if I put the link in the show notes, they could click on the link and watch it.
You know what? I think that might work. It's worth a try. So
let me know if it works or not.
Yeah.
All 12 of you.
We'll put it there for you. What's it called? Donkey?
Mango mule.
Mango mule. So yeah, seeing that was great. I mean, I like. I don't know. I felt the dialogue between. I really love. The fight scene's fun, but I love the little banter between me and Miles. I forgot again. I'd never seen that footage. I'd seen the fight a bunch of times, but I'd never seen the banter between me and Miles. and it looked so much better than I remembered it. I don't know. I thought that was my second time playing Biscuit, and I feel like I found more of how I wanted him to be with Miles than I did with the scene with Percy, because that was the first time I really got to play him. And I don't know, he came across goofy, and 1 second he's goofy, the next second he's brutal. And I was trying to find the balance. So it's like, it was good to get a second chance to play him again.
And the old Argo that Biscuit and Flintlock were in that quick episode preview.
Yeah.
Was washed up hidden in the bushes there.
Well, I was thinking, if we ever get a chance to, and I know we will, even if I have to kidnap Chris and make him film it, there will be a time. And if we ever are going to tie the Miles scene to it, it could be, maybe that takes place before I meet Flintlock, and I realize you have a vehicle just like that one, and you're like, oh yeah, it hasn't run in years, it's missing this, but it's hard to find these things nowadays. They used to sell them close by here, so sometimes you'll find them out in the wild, and I'll be like, I know where one is. And we trek over, salvage the parts together, and that's like one of our little adventures, getting to know each other, salvaging Argo parts. I mean, you got to come up with an explanation for why Flintlock's Argo is in the background of me smashing that guy's head on a rock.
I guess it all depends on where in the timeline that they're on this Argo shooting at whoever they're shooting at.
It's true. And thing is, with the timelines for all three of those scenes, you can do whatever you want with it, really. I mean, with the Miles scene, they only mentioned Neodyne once. They mentioned the dragonflies a little bit. But all Biscuit says is, I'm out here looking for some people. You don't know if he's looking for Percy. You don't know who he's looking for necessarily. He doesn't get specific because he's being vague on purpose, trying to get Miles to talk. But we'll see. I don't know. I really enjoyed seeing another scene from the show come out, I mean, I'm not trying to sound incredibly vain. Yes, I loved it because it was me. But I also just loved seeing another scene from the show, right? It was like it was coming back from the dead. There was a little part of me that had just kind of given up. I was like, I'm not going to bug Chris about it anymore. If it's too painful for him to edit this together, then I don't want to put him through that. But I mean, if we ever,
I mean, there's the times that we shot here at this location, at different ones, we did. The in the hospital bed and did all that shooting. And there was lots of people here for a long time.
There was, and those were big days. Those were great. I wanted to be here for that, even though I wasn't shooting. I wanted to be a part of it, and help out however I could. Those days were great because, I mean, Melissa was always fantastic, and I think his name was Brian, the guy that played Marcus, and he still says he wants to return. He still wants to do something.
Marcus was the sheriff, that dude.
Yeah, the guy that played Marcus. Yeah. Those, I mean, as well as I do, those they weren't the problem. The problem was in other places as far as that. But yeah, I don't know. I still hope something comes of it, but I never wanted to be a sour part on it. I didn't want. I don't know. I think maybe my enthusiasm might have gotten me in trouble a couple of times. I mean, my enthusiasm got me in trouble a couple of times. But I just wanted to be a part of. I just wanted to be a part of it, and I loved it. And I hope, really, really hope we get to do more, even if it's not that, even if it's just something. I just want to do something. I love this shit.
Well, hopefully he starts feeling better and get on to other things. But
I think he will. I think he's not.
The more and more he feels better and stuff, he might feel back into that doing that shit he can do.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe after editing that second Biscuit scene, he's like, you know what? Maybe I don't hate this fucking character as much as I thought I did. Maybe that gravelly voice and awkward, complete and total change in facial hair could kind of work.
Convince them to do the flintlock shop scene.
Well, the more I think about I do love that scene. The more I think about it, I almost want it to be. It feels like it's a Biscuit scene where we introduce Flintlock. I almost want it to be more of like a Flintlock scene and Biscuit's just kind of passing through it. So it would almost be like something would need to happen before I come into the shop. And I had a funny idea that it would be, I want to work in the dialogue that was created naturally between us, where somebody comes in with some attitude, points a gun at you, and then you say the classic, well, you know, I got my own guns, and just deliver that shit and threaten to hunt the guy down, and then the guy leaves. I thought, how funny would it be if it was Pugsley, but figure something else out. But like, that's kind of how the scene could start, and then it kind of flashes forward, and then Biscuit comes in, and we have our little conversation, and the ending part would be me leaving all pissed off at you, and then the Neodyne guys show up, start basically like any video you've seen online of cops harassing somebody for their ID and getting stuck on it, recreate that with Neodyne, and you're just like ignoring it until it gets loud and annoying, and I'm getting my ass kicked outside by these guys, and you come out. Like, you ever see Roadhouse? Of course you've seen Roadhouse. But you know the scene where the older, I can't remember his name right now, the mustache, Sam Elliott comes outside while Patrick Swayze's getting the shit beaten out of him, and he doesn't jump in right away. He just kind of moseys into the beating, and then eventually starts to help. Be kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you, channel a little bit of Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's something we can work on. I'd like us to sit down and like write it together.
Could do that.
I think that's a good plan. I fucking love this shit. I love it.
Well, I'm getting all these memory flashbacks. You know, Facebook sends you all these memories and shit, right? Of the screening we did down in Alliston. And...
Oh yeah, I got those the other day. That was about a year ago. That was fun. It was. I know I feel like he regretted it after, but that was fun. That's how I met Lisa.
Right.
Yeah, because Melissa brought her there, and I don't know if I met some other people that night, but yeah, it was a cool night. Made me really wish we'd sat in on a screening, but it was good.
What are you doing, dog?
I think we should have just screened it here. Kept it. I mean, if you were cool with that, rented a screen, put it up outside somewhere, set some chairs up, make it, not crazy.
Could have just cleared up that room and put a screen at that end and put a bunch of seats in here to watch it or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if Denise was okay with that, then that would have been fantastic. And who knows, in the future, maybe. But we'll see. I've heard some buzz. Hopefully he doesn't listen to this episode too soon and get pissed off at me. But
you've heard some buzz. You got a scoop?
I mean, I don't want to
too late
smoke and fire and whatnot, but again, the scene coming to light, I hope it's kind of lights a bit of a fire, because again, the video looks good, the sound looks good, the fighting scene was clunky, but
a lot of people fucking react to it.
Donkey. And if he actually posted it online, put it on YouTube, who knows? You never know.
Yeah, a lot of people were responding and reacting to it.
Mm-hmm. And that's just people who were like, it was shared from the limited video, right? But I don't know. Let's just say it might, things happen and then they're reborn and the chrysalids and all that shit. You never know what's going to come out of a cocoon. But I think I wouldn't be I would definitely be on board for anything. Rewrite, retake, retell, remix, whatever.
Yeah, well, they offered me, pretty good.
Offer you something good?
Yeah. A trailer.
I did offer you a trailer. What did I offer you? A trailer? This is a whole bunch of bullshit.
Advertising.
Oh, yeah, advertising. All the advertising you want on the Double D podcast. You can put as much as you want on there. I thought it might be fun if we actually sat down and worked out the scene, actually did a reading of it. And fuck, why not? Record it, make it a part of a podcast. Us like just doing a table read.
Doing that, yeah. Yeah, I could do that. I can offer you a trailer, the one in your yard. All the beer you can drink, whatever's in your fridge. And a dedicated media advertising market on the Double D podcast.
That's a great
Might
offer.
be able to kick in some flakies for the craft table.
Absolutely, because we love our flakies. Call back to episode 1, the flaky.
So, dude, you're scratching my foot.
Jackson, you're one of the best guests we've ever had, buddy. We love Jack. He might be one of the people watching it. Listening to it.
What you doing down there, buddy?
Jackson likes to listen to the Double D podcast every night before he goes to bed. So, get this. I was listening to... Every now and then, I'll put it on in the car while I'm driving home. And Max usually doesn't pay attention to what I'm listening to. But one day, I'm driving home. And you and I are talking, going on, whatever. And Max is watching his iPad. And he looks up and he goes, Dad? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why do you keep saying fuck? I'm like, he's like, why are you listening to this? I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. He's like, yeah, you should turn this off. I was like, I'm sorry, bud. Because he hears swearing. It happens. People are around and they forget and they swear in front of the kid. And yes, he's overheard, on a podcast or when me and Nat are watching a show quietly on our phone, hoping they're not going to come find us. So he knows those words aren't okay to say. So then he wonders why I'm saying them once a week when I go to hang out with Doug.
Yeah, why are you saying it?
He's like, why are you and Doug swearing all the time? It's like, oh, shit, I'm sorry, buddy. I keep telling myself I'm going to start a podcast with, one of these podcasts, I'm going to make the promise to try not to swear so much on it. But then I thought, take some of the spice out of it.
It'll be the first one that will have the mark not for kids.
Yeah, we'll have a Double D's Junior. We'll call it the training bra.
The what?
The training bra.
Jesus.
No, we will simply call it the AA meeting. That's a good double entendre right there. Cheers to the AA meeting. I know it's going to be in the fridge that night. So, off the top of your head, what is your favorite beer we've had on the podcast?
The Land Shark was good.
I always go back to the Land Shark. I think episode 21 we'll have to revisit. Maybe we'll do a fridge
the
revisit.
Waterloo Radler?
The Waterloo Radler
or was it the
great.
Stiegel Radler we had?
Any Radler, I'm happy. I love Radlers. I don't think I've had a bad Radler. I love grapefruit so much. Are you waving to yourself?
Yeah.
Because you've had a bad Radler?
Nope.
Who are you waving to?
Me.
Is that like a secret moment for yourself when you're watching it?
Yeah.
It's like an inside joke with yourself. Which is fine, because I laugh harder at my jokes than anyone else I know. So I guess that's somewhere in the same vein.
The major, the Commander Hatfield, I think was a good one.
Yes, that was a good one, I remember. Past that, honestly, I think of those two. Those are the two that I remember the most fondly. Nothing
I'll
else.
have to look at them.
Yeah.
The empties and see. I threw a bunch of empties.
Should have shot him. I was shooting at a can of San Pellegrino yesterday. I got this new pew-pew, which I'd wanted for, 3-4 months. And I kept saying, around Christmas. I got it for myself around Christmas. And I finally got this fucking thing. And I'm shooting at stuff, and I'm not hitting a goddamn thing with it. And it's cool. It's got a laser sight on it. So I'm pew, 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 pew. I'm looking like, why am I not hitting anything? Get up nice and close. Hitting shit. It's like, okay, so it's actually firing. I had to keep shooting the ground. So after about 120 shots, realized I can adjust the laser sight. Fucking idiot.
Is it the little copper BBs?
Yeah. Yeah. So the clip holds about, it doesn't hold many, it holds like maybe 20. It has a full auto function. You saw in the video me shooting the snow.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Just done. Yours, the one that looks like an MP40, it holds a 40 BBs, right? I feel like
close to that.
It had a little more, it lasted a little
goes
longer.
pretty quick too.
Yeah, oh yeah, it went pretty quick.
It's got the bigger silver BBs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this one's just a little itsy bitsy ones, but it takes two.
That's a load.
Actually, this one. Did you happen to see the spring video?
Where you got the one stuck in the spring? Yeah.
Yes. So what happened was I was showing it to Rob, and it has a loader. It's great. You click open the thing, you pour the BBs in, and then you just slide it to where the hole is, and you push this little handle down, and it pushes the BBs in. Problem is, I thought I'd slid the thing down, and it popped back out. And then when I pushed the BBs in,
pushed it into the spring.
2 of them went right into the damn spring. So I had to get tweezers, and very delicately, so I didn't fuck the spring up, I had to basically 2 tweezers, holding it against my chest, 1 pair of tweezers to hold this in place, 1 to hold it there, get under, and pop it out of the little circle.
That's your trigger finger.
Oh, my trigger finger. That looks better now. I don't know if you can see that.
Don't smell it.
Gangrene. So what happened with that was I was putting the CO2 canisters in. And I didn't read the instructions, of course, because I'm a fucking man. Man don't read instructions. Man bleed because he's stupid.
It takes 2 of them?
It takes 2, but you're supposed to load the one on the left first. And I saw that in the instructions after. So I, like an idiot, was just loading whatever. I put it into the right, twisted it, and it exploded everywhere. So I threw it out, and I'm like, okay, do I need a seal? And I'm like, do I need to add a seal? Is that why it exploded? And when I checked the instructions, I'm looking to see if there were seals. It basically said, always load the left first. So I was like, okay, I'm going to load the left one first. Loaded it, went fine. Second one, I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that when I turn this Allen key, I'm going to position my hand, and I'm going to give it a nice big, really hard first turn so it doesn't explode.
So the Allen key ripped your finger.
No, it wasn't the Allen key. It was this little folded piece of metal that
flips out and it's screwed.
It's like just a little square piece of metal folds out, and it's like when you clip in the side of the clip, it latches onto that. So it was just this little piece of metal jutting out. And when I got ready to do that huge turn of the Allen key to make sure that the CO2 went in one good spin, I put all that machismo into the turn, and my finger just went all the way through that metal, and it just ripped the shit out of it. And it hurt and whatever. It's not that bad. I was just so damn thankful it didn't start at the cuticle. It missed the cuticle and started right here. And it's just, yeah. And my son looks at it every day, and he's like, come with me. He takes me to the washroom, and he puts fresh Band-Aids on me every day to make sure I'm okay. Hey, Jackson.
This is Jackson.
Jackson's the best.
What do you want, buddy?
Jackson's the best little doggy in the world.
What do you want?
He's like, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? I want to know.
Do you need to go out?
That's a good boy.
What? What you want?
It reminds me, I saw this video the other day of a pack of wolves trying to take down a bear.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that
bear
one
was
too?
running through the forest.
The drone was following it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It reminded me.
Wolves.
They weren't wolves?
No.
What the hell were they?
I don't know. There's some kind of People were saying they were huskies, but they weren't huskies. They were some kind of a dog of that nature. So they had collars on, and the curled tails and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're domestic dogs, hunting dogs of some sort.
Damn.
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't apply then to the whole wolves and gorilla thing. You ever hear the soundbite? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
No.
It's like a little kid. There was one of a video of a guy driving by. And there's like this big fucking timber wolf sitting on the side of the road. The guy's driving by, filming it out his window, and it's just playing that audio over it.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog? Yeah, I wouldn't be petting that dog.
Jesus.
I used to say that I wanted a wolf husky hybrid, but I realize now that's just one of those stupid things
They're
people
big
say.
fucking dogs.
They're fucking huge.
That's it, buddy. No more.
And their loyalty is can be deadly. Like I've heard people say, like, if you bring up your kid with a wolf dog hybrid, the loyalty that dog will have to that kid, they'll kill anybody who messes with your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're insanely loyal and very protective.
Right.
Which is nice to think about, but also I don't want my dog killing some kid at a birthday party because it misunderstands a violent act. Right, Jackson? Right? You know I only come here because I want to hang out with you, right?
Just after treats this monster, aren't you? Yeah, see?
Because he's a good boy.
What? No more. No more.
Clip this, we'll get like 1 million
No
views
more.
on that.
Scott, look.
It's the Triple D
there.
podcast. Dan, Doug, and Dog.
Look. I feel like I'm like a fucking dealer at the casino. It's like I gotta show my hands when I'm done. Look, no more. Done.
I love when the little paw goes up. Like, come on. We have company over. You have to spoil me.
No more.
That's a good boy. So I was doing something the other day. It was whoa.
Okay, one more.
Get him one more there. It was questions to ask to figure out if someone's boring.
Uh-oh.
Someone is boring. So I was doing an experiment with some people to figure out if they were boring because I thought they might be. And as I'm reading through all these questions, I'm like, oh, these are kind of like the fishbowl questions. And let's
Hey,
see.
we don't have any fishbowl questions, so let's go. Let's run through
And then there was another list I found. It was 450 questions, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun if one podcast was just us doing the gambit.
Set.
So first one.
What?
Some of these are. So number one, tell me the 3 best things about you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell's that noise?
Is that a soda stream?
My wife.
Hi, Dan.
Hi.
Soda stream.
I agree with that. She's definitely
My
one of those things.
wife. My dog. My kids.
Good answer.
In that order?
No. Well, yes.
I would have a similar answer, but I don't have a dog like Jackson, and I'm not a really huge fan of my
You're a
cat.
fucking copycat. Can't
No,
make
no.
up your own answers?
I love my
That's
wife,
it.
I love my kids, and I love my friends because I don't have a dog like Jackson.
Yeah, but don't you think the kids come before the dog?
The dog was closest. And honestly, the dog's still here. Where are the kids? When your kids grow up and they leave you
Yeah, but dogs.
to have their own life.
But dogs die, and then they're all sad, and
Yeah, but
it's pretty sure.
every dog dies. Not every dog really lives. Jackson has lived a great life. And that's what you'll remember. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strict are your parents? Or are/were your parents when you were
It's
young?
so funny that you bring that up. Just I have to interlude for a second.
Interlude.
You have to come here and interlude.
No. No.
Yes.
We need people to know that we
It's
talk
video.
to women. Women are in our
No,
lives.
They think we just think it's AI or something.
No,
A couple of dudes pretending they're talking to a
no,
woman.
I'm not going to go on here, but no, it's,
Just stick your hand in front so they know somebody's
Wave your
there.
hand. There it is. Human hand.
No, I got as a gift for Christmas was this app called Storyworth.
Oh.
And so it's set up by my son's girlfriend. They'll send you a question on a weekly basis, more often if you want, and then then they'll take all your stories and put it into a book and give you a book at the end of the day, right?
That's awesome.
Like in a year's time when you're done it. But the question I had was on grandparents. This was the question I was just doing. And it was funny because they were talking, and I was just writing about how strict my grandparents were. And then you brought that up. That was so weird.
It's
Weird.
this whole thing was planned.
These are questions from the storyboard.
They are the storyboard of life. But actually, it's funny that you mentioned that it was your son's. You say your son's girlfriend that set it up?
Yeah, Meg.
We did that with my mom, and Matt set it up. So it's almost like it's one of those things you do for your spouse's parent, but you don't do for your own almost. That's weird.
They also got it for my mom. My mom.
They got it for her.
Yeah.
Garrett
You
set
didn't
it
get
up.
it for her.
No,
No.
I don't even know what it is. I still don't really.
You will, and it's pretty amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's all the like all the stuff you would want to know that you might not remember to ask. Or
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And
You
then
know?
it's all in a book,
There
and
you
you
go.
can edit and as you go along, think about new things.
yeah. Some of my mom's answers, I was like, "What? What?" It was like really cool to hear the stuff. But yeah, I would recommend doing the Storyworth thing. It's a great little thing, and it's just a question a week.
Right.
They get an email, they look at the question, they answer it, they submit it, and then
It goes into some storybook.
some storybook generator.
Yeah,
So-
you'll actually physically get a book at the end of the day. It'll all be composed into a book and sent to you.
Cool.
Very cool.
So me being the youngest of four,
Oh, they probably weren't very strict at all.
by that point, it was
No.
the three older brothers had already
They were the strict ones.
broken it. So I pretty much
So that pretty much tells me about how strict your parents were. You know. Who was your worst teacher and why?
who's my worst teacher?
Worst teacher.
I don't know.
You don't have to say necessarily who, but
You know, I was probably the worst student because I really didn't go to school. So
you didn't go, or
And
you
they
just
passed
didn't
me,
really
and
give
they
a shit.
passed me through high school anyway. So
They're just trying to get rid of you.
who's the worst teacher? I don't know.
Does any particular situation stand out?
No,
No. Donkey.
Nobody bothered me, and I never went to school.
No.
So I don't know.
My teacher in grade 4 was pretty nasty. She was probably needed to retire. I think maybe she was a year or two away from retiring.
Can you name your teachers up to grade 6?
Okay. Miss Duval was my grade 6 teacher, but Mr. Perron was he was there at the beginning because she was on mat leave. Miss Percival was my grade 4 teacher. Sister Rosemary was my grade 3 teacher. Miss Glenn was my grade 5 teacher. I don't know if I remember 3 or 2 or 1. No. Grade 7 was Miss... I don't remember her name. Mr. Soares was my grade 8 teacher. He was the best teacher I had in elementary school. He was awesome. It was his first year as a full-time teacher, and he had that raw... He he maybe said some shit he shouldn't have said,
No.
He was pretty real with us, and I loved that about him.
No.
But he didn't take shit from anybody, which was great. He also didn't take out his bad days on us the way some of my other teachers had. But yeah, I can't remember 1, 2, or 3. I feel like my grade 7 teacher, it's like right on the tip. I remember I could see her face. I remember things she said to me. She gave me more detentions than any other teacher I ever had. That was her way of solving everything. You caused the problem, detention. You didn't get your work completed, detention. I accidentally got frustrated.
Stop.
Sorry, Jackson, I'm getting worked up. There was one day I was talking to a friend of mine, and I just went, Jesus Christ, detention. She gave me detention for that. She was like pissed at me.
What a bitch.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
I got 1 detention in grade 6, maybe 2 detentions in grade 8, probably 50 detentions in grade 7. Bullshit.
So I remember this I think it was a science teacher in grade 7. We were at junior public school, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So Mr. Schwartz, I remember the first time we were in his class, I was sitting in the back of the class, and he's, doing his speech on whatever, how he expects us to be, and blah blah blah, whatever. And he goes into this, we should really, strive to be like Terry Fox. And I laughed.
Just
Terry
Terry
Fox.
Terry Fox.
In my mind, I'm thinking he said Red Fox.
Oh, fuck.
So I laughed. So then he hated me for the rest of the year.
Did you ever explain to him?
No, he just hated me after that. I laughed because he wanted me to be like Terry Fox, and I thought he said Red Fox.
I feel like that probably could have been solved with a little bit of conversation.
They didn't even ask. That was it.
Well, I've had a few times in my life, too, where somebody's disliked me, hated me, or thought I was an asshole over a complete misunderstanding. And it's like, well, shit, maybe you should have said something back then, because I always just thought you hated me because of my animal magnetism. I mean, I don't know.
One time we were lining up to get into French class, and the teacher was late coming in. And then he showed up, late. We all stand outside the door, wait. And then he shows up, lets us in. I'm like, Mr. Schwartz for French? Talk to the office. Okay. Go to the office. I'm sitting there, like, what are you doing down there? Mr. Schwartz told me to come here. Why? So I told them. They're like, really?
That's when they send them. That's when they send you back.
Okay.
He was being belligerent.
Oh, because I misunderstood him when he said Terry Fox, and I thought he said Red Fox.
Well, there's your answer, Doug. You found it. And that sucks.
I don't even think I knew who Terry Fox was really back then.
No?
In grade 7.
Oh, they make it.
He might have been just running at that time.
Oh, he's been gone like 25 years or something.
When do you think I was in grade 7?
Yeah, that checks out.
25 years ago, you weren't in grade 7.
I graduated high school 24 years ago. Saying that out loud makes me very sad.
Grade 7, you would have been 12?
Yeah, 11 or 12.
12. And 25 years, that makes you 25 and 12, 37, right?
Are you 37, Doug?
You're not 37, Doug.
So the fact you didn't know who Terry Fox was by grade 7, that's on you.
What?
You wouldn't have known who Terry Fox. Terry Fox was even probably born at that time. Okay, sorry.
I think this is a Mandela effect situation. We're going to need to check our timelines, figure out some things.
In 1980, He ran in 1980.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
1980.
When did I?
He
Yeah.
didn't run in 1980.
In 1980, with one leg having been amputated due to cancer, he embarked on an east to west coast across Canada.
In 1980.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many years is that?
So when did I start high school? In 82?
That's 44 years
That's when I
ago.
was born. You old bastard.
Listen, all these, it's all fucking content.
It's all
Okay, go.
numbers. It's just content. Numbers and math is racist. Don't forget that. It's not Doug's fault.
So 82, I started high school? Was that 82 I started high school? 81? Yeah, 82. So that would have been the year he ran. I was in grade 7. I'm fucking right. What the fuck you talking about?
Well, that race hasn't been going on for 45 years.
What race?
The Terry Fox run.
Well, when did they? They didn't start it the day he was running or when he was running.
I'm not sure how long. I think the year after, because it didn't start that everyone was doing it. Certain people, I think, were doing it,
It
and then
didn't
it
become a
eventually.
national thing.
It didn't become a national thing until later, but there were people who were recreating it. I think up to like the year after he died.
He
Okay.
died in 81.
Yeah.
So he was running, and it was in 80 when he started that trek across Canada.
Yeah, I remember being in elementary school and learning about Terry Fox and doing the run.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm wrong.
I think you're both right.
No,
just-
I'm wrong.
You need to sit down with a
I'm
chalkboard.
wrong. I don't know. I was just figuring his timeline for his races, but
Ooh.
So there.
So there?
Yeah, I remember a fucking
That
Mr.
teacher,
Schwartz with the fucking toupee.
angry old Mr. Schwartz.
One day he came in and his fucking toupee was sticking up like this, and I laughed and he kicked me out. By then it was gone.
It's like
then it was already a lost cause, right?
You ever watch Mr. D?
No, but I know.
Oh
I
shit!
know.
There's this one kid in the class who's always snarky to him, and he says it to the office every time the kid talks. Like, office, go now. That was you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You were that kid. So here was a question that I posed to Nat, because we were talking about Led Zeppelin. We were talking about our favorite songs, and what were we listening to? We were listening to. We were driving along the road, and the Immigrant song came on, and she skipped it. And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "You don't skip the Immigrant song. Put it back on." So she went back, and we started talking about our favorite Led Zeppelin songs. And so I can't remember what she said her other favorite song was, but I came up with this idea or this thing. So you're at a Led Zeppelin concert,
Mhm.
and you get pulled on stage,
Mhm.
and they say to you, "Okay, up next, we're either playing Kashmir or the Immigrant Song. Whichever one you pick."
Do you know any other names of songs?
Um,
The names of the songs are fucking kind of out there.
they're hard to remember.
They
Like, I
are.
remember Kashmir. I remember the Immigrant Song, and she had another one, something Love or Money or something. I can't remember what it was. But there was some other Led Zeppelin songs she liked.
Mm.
But it's like they tell you Immigrant Song or Kashmir, pick one, and that's the one we're playing. We're not playing the other one. And then you have to go back into the audience knowing that they're only getting one of those songs. They're not getting the other one.
Right.
Which one would you pick?
Kashmir.
I feel like most people would pick Kashmir. That's like but it was like you could do that question with any band, any two hyper popular songs. Like, which song would you want to be responsible for? Like, they're
Everybody
not
listening. Yeah.
everyone's going to be pissed at you that they're not getting to hear that song.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was just, you could do it with any band. Also, I can do this one with you. Who are your 3 favorite bands?
Oh fuck, that's impossible to say.
Okay, well, tell me your 3 favorite bands off the top of your head. What's number 1?
Eagles.
Eagles, number 1. Good choice. Second choice.
Queen.
Queen.
Queen, great.
Pink Floyd.
And Pink Floyd? All right. Here's the trick.
Huh?
Name
Kiss. Okay. Well, I only got 3, so.
So Pink Floyd was the third one, right?
Yeah.
Name 6 Pink Floyd songs.
Another Brick in the Wall of Money. Run. Dark Side of the Moon.
That's 4. You got The Wall, Money, Dark Side of the Moon,
Wall.
Run. Any more?
Not off the top of my head.
And that was like kind of the question, because people talk about their favorite bands, but it's like, okay, the first 2 you'd probably be solid for those other 2. You could name 6 songs by now. But when a person gets to their third favorite band, can they name 6 songs by that band? Yeah. It's like, if you can't name 6 songs by the band, are you actually a fan of the band?
Fear of Lynn.
But again,
I'll eventually think of them.
Pink Floyd's another one where the names of the songs are sometimes a
different
little
than
a little harder to remember.
Burning Man.
Was that another Floyd one?
Yeah.
Like those ones you named by Floyd, those are probably the 3 I could name. The Wall,
Yeah,
Money.
most of them are on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Money, Dark Side of the Moon's different. Shine On You, Crazy Diamond. I can think of a bunch of them.
Good tunes.
Brain fart.
Let's see what else we got here in
I
this.
threw you off with Terry Fox.
You still on Terry Fox? Good old Terry.
That whole memory went. That even happened?
Oh, here's a fun one for you. We've talked. I don't know where you're going to go with it. I have a new person to rag on. Name a celebrity you think is lame.
A celebrity I think is lame?
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking... I don't know. Think is lame. Lame in the way of what?
Oh, I don't know. Like it doesn't even need to be lame. Just a celebrity that say other people love, and you look at it and go, "What the fuck? Really? This person? Why?"
I don't know.
Someone you think is overhyped. I'll tell you who mine is. Give you some time to think. Billie Eilish. Man, fuck Billie Eilish. I'm tired of hearing about her.
Is she a singer?
She is. And honestly, I can't name one song by Billie Eilish. I don't know any songs by Billie Eilish. What I do know is that she always has a grumpy fucking look on her face. And that when she actually, dresses like a human being instead of a, mom going through postmortem depression, it's actually kind of hot. But she's like angry about being hot.
So I was trying to think of like actors or something, actresses, but
I'm sure Billie Eilish was on an episode of Criminal Minds at some point.
Now that you threw music out there, I don't see this big thing with Jelly Roll or Post Malone. This big fucking everybody. They have some. They're like some great singers or whatever, because they're not.
Who's Jelly Roller?
Jelly Roll? It's a big, huge guy. He used to be in jail. He's got tattoos all over his face.
I don't know who that is.
Country stuff or whatever.
I know.
Kind of like Post Malone.
I know who Post Malone is.
Yeah.
And I thought, honestly, we talked about this a previous episode. We were talking about face tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And I said there's only one person who kind of gets a pass from me for face tattoos, and it was Post Malone. Only because I saw him on Hot Ones, and he actually came across like a really cool, nice guy, not the total fucking douchebag he looks like.
Jelly Roll.
That guy just looks like a fucking loser,
Well,
like Uncle Cracker mixed with a mullet. I mean, I'm sorry if that's me being judgmental, but I feel like a lot of people go for sensationalism with their image because they're worried that their personality isn't enough to keep people interested.
But I don't know about Post Malone, why he's got all the tattoos on his face and shit. But this guy was a real criminal in jail where he earned all those tattoos.
Oh,
Drug dealer and all the rest. And now he's come out and he's turned his life around. Praise God and blah, 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 blah. And now he's this singer and he's in the country scene. And everybody's like, oh, okay, it's a great story.
yeah.
But I listen to him sing, it's not great. Probably auto-tune. I don't know.
A lot of the stuff you've told me about.
Post Malone admits that he's auto-tune.
Yeah.
He was on Joe Rogan. He goes, if it wasn't for auto-tune, I'd be not like...
Yeah, he knows that, and he's humble about it. And that's one of the things I like about him. I heard him on Rogan as well. I saw him on an episode of Hot Ones. I heard him on Rogan. And he doesn't come across like a total fuck bag the way some other people have. And I'm sure if I saw Billie Eilish on fucking Joe Rogan and got to hear her whole story, I might think, oh, wow, she's not the stupid bitch I thought she was. That's how I felt about Miley Cyrus. I didn't have a huge opinion of Miley Cyrus until I heard her on Rogan, and I'm like, oh, there's layers to that onion.
Dude, I was just going to say that. Let's flip it around the other way. Who did you never think much of, but now it's found out?
Miley's one of them.
Miley Cyrus, and not only her being on Rogan and now saying that she's now a carnivore. She switched from being a vegan to being a carnivore. Now she's feeling better and healthy and everything. But also, you listen to the songs she sings, and she's got, her pop songs, but she's done some covers and she's done some fucking songs that are fucking really good.
Mm-hmm.
She did Deborah Harry, Heart of Glass. Fucking phenomenal. She did it so well.
Also, kickback to
Blondie, right?
Kickback to what we were talking about earlier. You want to talk about someone with a gravelly voice? I don't know what it is, but something about her voice is sexy as fuck.
I'll leave you boys.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for contributing.
And happy birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday. Holy shit. I didn't know. You're welcome.
Gravelly voice, who?
Miley Cyrus.
Oh, yeah.
Her voice is fucking unique, to say the least. And I don't think it was always like that.
It's fucking talent there.
You know what? She's a great singer. She comes from a great family. And what she did to escape her image, as crazy as it seemed at the time, the more time goes by, the more I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I know exactly what she did. And when she did that, the big thing that people were fixating on was the reaction of Will Smith and his family in the audience. When she did that shit on stage.
What'd she do?
Oh, fuck. The song with, what's his name? Oh, fuck, I can't remember the name of the song now. She did a performance, and it was the first time she, graphically sexualized herself.
Oh.
Because she was always like the Disney princess. She was...
Hannah
Montana type shit. And she did a song... She did the song... what the fuck is it called? With the guy, the son of the guy from the show... I can't think of any of these people. And Nat's listening to this podcast screaming right now because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, fuck, I can't remember. Everybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Not Justin Timberlake. The other guy. His son. He's the son of the guy that was on that fucking White Picket Fences show. I fucking can't remember. It's driving me nuts.
Jesus.
Not Tainted Lines. Blurred Lines. The name of the song was Blurred Lines. Hold on, I'm getting it. It's coming back to me slowly. Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke.
Oh.
You know that song, Blurred Lines?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody get him. Anyway, he performed that song with Miley, and she came out dressed up like a little kitty, all sweet and innocent, and then ripped away that costume, and she was dressed like a fucking whore. She was dressed all sexualized. She was twerking. She was doing all this crazy shit. And it blew the world apart. Broke the internet for back then. And it was this great reaction shot of Jada and Will and Jaden watching. And they're all like, oh, my God. Yeah. So that was when she kind of came out and she shattered her innocent image and kind of took hold of her sexuality and her whatever. And it was very, very controversial at the time, but I mean, tons of people do it now. It's like it's fuck, it is what it is. And the whole thing went on while Fukushima was happening. I don't know if you remember that. The Japanese nuclear plant that melted down and all the freaking contaminated water was getting dumped into the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole time Fukushima was poisoning the ocean and like it was a giant event. The news was all focused on Miley Cyrus's twerking. Not a fucking word about Fukushima. I still remember that shit. That's almost 10 years, more than 10 years ago now, maybe 12. I think that was in 2012. I don't know. But yeah, when I heard Miley talking on Joe Rogan's podcast, and also her episode of Black Mirror was decent, and she was pretty good in it.
Right.
She was going on, and she was talking about how she suffered brain damage as a kid, like an accident that happened while riding on the back of a dirt bike. Like her dad had her on a thing, and he went to duck under a tree, and she didn't quite make it, and it basically changed her personality. I mean, you take a hard enough hit to your frontal lobe, that'll fuck you up, and that's happened to a lot of celebrities. Roseanne Barr, Sam Kinison, her.
Yeah, Roseanne Barr got hit by a car.
Sam Kinison also got hit by a car. Miley Cyrus got smacked in the head. It's, like these things happen and it'll change a person's whole personality. Like Sam Kinison, his family said that before his accident, he was a very nice kid, very polite, no issues. He had his accident and then he became like a fucking wild child.
Yeah.
Like just pissing in public and doing crazy stuff. But great comedian. But yeah, so one of the things that Joe Rogan did, I remember, is him coming a little bit to Roseanne Barr's defense when everyone was jumping all over her. Is like, you have to understand, you're dealing with a woman who is her brain doesn't
brain damage.
She has brain damage. Her head doesn't quite work the way everyone else's does, and celebrities get a lot of forgiveness for shit right up until the moment they don't, and then everyone turns on them.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah, I'm getting tired of Billie Eilish's miserable ass mug. She looks so pissed off to be hot and famous, and she dresses half the time. And I'm not fucking body shaming or whatever. She's a gorgeous woman. She's beautiful. She has nothing to complain about when it comes to her body. But it's like she's pissed off that people like her because she has a gorgeous body, and then she covers it up. But then every now and then she dresses in these like insanely sexual and provocative outfits, and it's like, pick a fucking lane already. Either go and get chopped and desexified, or just accept the fact that you're an attractive woman and people are going to want to look at you. I don't know any of your songs, but this podcast is named after her.
Already.
Yeah. I mean, and part of me feels like if I'm talking shit about her on the podcast,
then she needs to call in.
Do I need to do the due diligence of actually looking more into her, listening to more of her interviews, getting a sense of who she is? But I mean, you got to find something real. I mean, at least when you hear someone on a podcast, you get, especially Joe Rogan's, where it's like things get heated on there. I'd want to listen to her talking to somebody who's actually going to bring something out of her, the way you got something when he was talking to Miley. Give me that. I don't know if you'd ever have Billie Eilish on there, but I'm always willing to give people the benefit of the doubt.
You probably would.
And I can change my mind if I see something. And that's what happened with Post Malone. I thought he looked like a fucking douchebag, to be completely honest. And the Rogan interview, I got to see another side of him, and it was interesting.
I don't care what he looks like or whatever. I don't have an issue with that thing. I just don't see...
You don't see the level of appeal?
The value of his entertainment.
I honestly could not name a single song by Post Malone. If I heard one, I might recognize it, but I can't think. Even when Nat and I watched the podcast, I was like, I don't know any of his songs. Did you play one for me? And I'm like, I don't know if I've ever heard this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of touch.
It's not. I mean, it's not because I don't like his style of music or whatever.
It's country, isn't it?
Post Malone?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think it's more. I don't know.
Here's a flip side for you. Can you think of somebody who you enjoy what they produce or what comes out of them, music, movies, TV show, whatever, but you fucking hate them as a person?
Well, it's all sorts of fucking actors like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio.
You don't like Leonardo DiCaprio as a person?
No.
Because of the...
I think he's very fucking... I think he's very out of touch with fucking humanity and people, and his whole fucking spiel on fucking climate change and how everybody's got to do all this shit while he fucking sails around on that fucking island-sized yacht with his fucking 4 17-year-old girlfriends.
Well, if you add them all up.
Fuck right off. Seriously. Shove it up your ass, you fucking hypocrite piece of shit. So but he's an amazing actor, and I'll watch every single fucking thing he's ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Greta. In a way. Greta Thunberg, whatever
How
the
is
fuck
he
her
like
name is.
Greta Thunberg?
Because she says all this shit. You need to do this. You need to stop doing that. And then she's flying around on fucking private planes and doing all kinds of shit. Is she flying around
on planes?
I
thought she was like taking boats and trains and shit.
There's been plenty of stuff about her doing shit that goes right against what she's saying other people.
It's like all the fuckers that have flown to fucking Davos to stop climate change. How many fucking jet planes have flown to Davos to eat the best food in the world, to eat the best fucking shrimp and steak and everything, to tell the world to stop flying and stop eating shrimp and steak?
Fuck right off. You ever read or watch Zoo?
Zoo?
Zoo.
I've been to the zoo.
No, there's a book. It was called Zoo, and then they made a show based on the book.
No.
Never heard of that?
Maybe.
Basically, it's about the pollution of the world causing animals, all of them, to turn on humanity. Kind of like...
I think I watched it.
Yeah, you might have watched it. It was on TV.
Yeah.
But I read the book first, and then I tried watching the show, and I was like, it's just, I don't like what they're doing with this. It was too showy and not enough adaptation.
Yeah.
But, yeah, all the fucking animals are turning on people. And at the end, they figure out reducing their emissions and stopping all the shit that they're doing will eventually equalize things. If they stop pumping all the freaking pollution into the atmosphere and stop flying everywhere, driving everywhere. So they basically unplug the world a little bit to try and switch things back. And within like a week, the main character notices that planes have started flying again. Not for everybody, but for some people. And they're making these excuses. And it's like, oh, well, if you want to see your family, we can arrange something for you to go. And he's like, no, as much as I'd love to see my family, you got to stop doing this shit. We decided that if we want the world back the way it was, people need to stop. And they weren't going to fucking stop. They were going to just for us, not for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that reminded me of.
Right.
Zoo. Written by, sorry, I don't know. Where were we? Do you know what Billie Eilish even looks like?
Yep.
Of course you do, Doug. Let's see what we got here.
She's got blue hair, right?
Oh yeah, her hair is always green or blue, and she's never. I don't know if I've ever seen her smile. She reminds me of a lot of girls I used to date. They just look miserable all the time. Maybe that was because of me, though. I don't know. If you could pick a new first, I think we answered. We've done something like that. Pet peeve: do you sleep with your sheets tucked in or out? Do you ever count your steps when you walk? Everyone counts their steps. When you're going up a flight of stairs, you count.
Gotta throw a log on the fire.
Throw another log on the fire. Demolition Man. That's what that's from. It's when they burned the priest. You ever see Demolition Man?
No.
Great movie. What fictional character do you wish you could meet?
Fred Flintstone.
Did we do that one before?
No.
So I honestly feel like I remember you answering a question saying Fred Flintstone.
No.
Fictional character. Corbin Dallas.
Red Sonja.
Red Sonja or what was her name? Valeria? That was Conan's girlfriend and Conan the Barbarian. I liked her too. There's this great scene because Conan it's so much of its storytelling is silent. There's very little dialogue in it, and there's this scene that always sticks out to me, and I always think about it, where it's like a montage of how they're spending all the money they've made,
right?
And there's this scene where the two of them are sitting there, and she just like reacts really suddenly to something and like grabs a hold of Conan and hugs him, and they never tell you what happened. It's just a very quick moment of just Valeria embracing Conan very tenderly. And I always wonder, what did he just tell her to make her hug him like that? Because it wasn't "I love you" for the first time. It was like him finally kind of confessing some traumatic thing that happened to him. And I don't know. It's one of those things I'll always kind of wonder about. And I don't think anyone else has ever fucking thought about it. But yeah, it stands out to me. Yeah. All the stuff that's untold or unsaid. Name a number between 1 and 100.
23.
Okay, we're going back. 23. If you could live in any TV home, what would it be?
If I could live in any TV home.
Don't say Fred Flintstone's house. You can if you want. I mean, but yeah, think of a house you saw on television and you thought, damn, that's a nice house. That's it's a good question.
You know who had a good house? Fresh Prince of
I was
Bel-Air.
going to say, if after you answered, I'd be like, well, I'll tell you where my house is.
Yeah.
No, not in West Philadelphia. That's where he was from.
Born and raised.
On a playground, yeah. His, no, that was in...
somewhere in L.A. Beverly...
cool. Bel-Air. Was it
Bel-Air, yeah.
Bel-Air, sorry.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The title.
Hello.
But yeah, that was a nice house. It changed a lot, though. I'm guessing you want like season 3 house, where you could actually see outside the kitchen. But you never really saw. That was one of those ones where you saw the set, but there's some other shows where the whole set, like they make the whole house a set where you kind of can move through it. But yeah, those old sitcoms, it was just like you saw maybe a room here and there.
The living room mostly.
Yeah. Living room, and then
kitchen.
you sometimes saw their bedrooms, the kitchen, out in the patio. Yo, Pops, you bust my duck. That's still, to this day, one of my favorite episodes. When Will and Carlton have a pool party, and then Uncle Phil comes home, stops the party, and the police get called, and they all end up in court, and they all tell their version of the story. And it's like Will and Carlton tell it like Uncle Phil's this like rampaging, angry guy. And when Uncle Phil tells it, Will and Carlton come across like a couple of hoodlums. And he accidentally steps on Carlton's inflatable duck. Yo, Pops, you bust my duck. Sorry, tangent. Having a moment. This might be a cheat, but I love the... You never watched Supernatural, did you?
That I've seen a couple episodes. That's one of the ones I really wanted to watch, but never have yet.
Well, I can't remember what season
It's
this
the two
happened.
brothers, right?
Yeah, Sam and Dean.
Yeah.
They eventually, and they're there for like 7 seasons at least, they discover this like bunker that was used to be run by a society that they realize that they're kind of were born into, and they work out of this bunker with. I think it's got a massive library and all these rooms, and it's hidden off somewhere, like some offshoot of the highway. But it's such a cool set and such a cool setting. Them living in this bunker together, and that I think would be cool. I mean, I know that sounds fucked. Who would pick a bunker when there's so many amazing houses? But I don't know. That stuck out to me as a really cool place to live. Yeah, bunker life, or Archie Bunker's house. Let's try 84. What celebrity? No, we've done celebrity chefs. If you had no. What is your favorite thing about the beach? The beaches, if you know what I mean. Beaches to the left of me. Beaches to the right. Beaches in the water. You don't like the beach? It depends. I'm
not a big guy to go to the beach and just lie on the beach and
just not want to sit on the beach and just chill.
No,
I get that.
I'm not.
Not all day. Some people want to go to the beach all day. All day. Just lay in the sun on the sand. I got like 2 hours max, and there better be some booze or some volleyball that I can watch.
Yeah.
Or play. I like playing volleyball too.
I'll go snorkeling, but just hang out at the beach. No, unless I'm like fucking looking for like shells and starfish and shit. No, I'm not a beach guy.
I've been to some beautiful beaches in the world. There was a beach in Nice, France, which was gorgeous. I loved it. The water was like Kool-Aid blue. It was all rocks, like very smooth stone. There was no sand. And it was gorgeous. And then I remember going to a beach in Spain. Probably one of the most uncomfortable experiences of my fucking life.
Why?
Everybody looked like an Instagram model. Like, Nat and I were going on a 3-week tour of Europe. This was before we had kids. This was like our last big hurrah before we decided to start having a family. We're like, let's plan out a 3-week tour. And we went to all these beaches in all these different countries and all these different places, and I was fine. No problems. I was hanging out, shirt off, whatever. Pasty fucking Irish guy. Didn't care. We were in Spain, and we went to this beach. It was packed. There were people everywhere. And I'm looking around, and I felt like I was a fucking kid again in like a club in Toronto where you're just, people look at you like you don't fucking belong there. And maybe they're not looking at you that way, but you feel that way.
Yeah.
And I just felt so fucking out of place, and I couldn't relax. And Nat even said, she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. I feel a little weird." She's like, "Why? What's wrong?" And I don't know. She didn't. I don't think. Maybe she couldn't relate at the time, or she thought it's all in my head. But I just didn't. I felt so fucking uncomfortable. It was the most uncomfortable.
Just because all of them were all.
Like, when I say Instagram models, I mean, like, I looked around and everyone was like, again, we're in fucking Spain, right? Spanish people are gorgeous.
They're all tanned.
They're all tanned, and they're all slim and athletic.
Fit
and
I look around.
Yeah, all the things, all the opposite
of us
things. And I could not wait to get out of there. I wanted to stick it out for her sake, and to like, you know, we talk about facing your fears.
So there wasn't a lot of tourists there?
If there were tourists, they were tourists who were in Spain, and they looked fucking phenomenal too. I mean, I've been to plenty of beaches where I look around and it's like, there's this thought in my head. Am I the fattest guy here? Nope. Okay, I'm good. Am I the oldest guy here? Nope. Okay, good. We can work with this. I looked around that beach in Spain, and I felt like, fuck. Everyone is jacked, tanned, gorgeous. All the guys look like they just came from the gym. All the girls look like they're with guys who just came from the gym. But yeah, that was probably my worst beach experience. And I know it sounds like I was like body shaming myself, but I fucking can't help the way I feel. But at the same time, I didn't run away from it screaming. I tried to force myself to endure it to get over it. You know?
I don't think you have.
Maybe I haven't, but if I ever went back, maybe I wouldn't give a shit. Maybe I'd just be like, fine, fuck it. Because when I was a kid, I had huge problems with that stuff. I wouldn't do half the things. Yeah, with beaches where we're going to swimming pools. I had all kinds of problems with feeling self-conscious about stuff that I've just gotten over it. Sometimes it crosses my mind,
Right.
but it doesn't bother me the way it used to.
Yeah.
And it was like being on that beach in Spain brought me right back. And it was like, shit, I didn't think I was capable of feeling like this anymore. And it was almost like, I've overcome this challenge, but now the challenge is returned, and I will attempt to overcome it again. Because, you never know when it's going to sneak back up on you.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that was the question, but we went there.
Something about beaches, right?
What you like about beaches?
I do like beaches. I sound like, you know what I just thought? If I put a little bit of an accent on it, I do like beaches.
I don't like beaches.
If I go somewhere and I say, wow, look at these beaches. I want
beaches.
I could live with beaches all day. I find the beach and I say, what a nice beach. I spend all day with this beach. Okay, I gotta stop. We're at the 2-hour mark, my friend.
Okay, well, let's just end it with this little clarification about the Death Star.
Oh. I told Nat I might not talk to you about this.
Since all you stupid little Star Wars twerps, the Death Star 2 was the second Death Star battle station in the construction of the Galactic Empire. It was the same size as its predecessor, measuring 160 kilometers in diameter. It was built after the destruction of the first Death Star in the Battle of
Endor.
Yeah.
Nope. Battle of Endor was the third
Devon.
one. Devon in the first one.
Yeah.
Endor in the second. Third.
So I was wrong.
However, Dougie.
He was right.
Nope. Because I will tell you something that I found out earlier last week. I was talking to a young man who's also a big Star Wars fan. And I mentioned our conversation, and he said, well, actually. He started talking about either one of the shows or one of the games. And that a part of it was where you would find bits of the Death Star that had crash landed on planets, chunks that had blown off.
Right.
And that people were scavenging the blown off chunks for parts. So there is a possibility that there would be people scavenging those parts and then selling them back to the Empire.
That was a little bit of a stretch of what I was going at.
Yeah, and I mean, the more you talked about it, the more I thought, I'm like, the whole introduction to Rey in Episode 7 is her scavenging parts from a crashed Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
Or a crashed Star Destroyer. So, while I don't think they brought in a bunch of big chunks to weld them back together, I mean, the possibility does exist that if there were components that survived, or there were leftover parts from building the first one, and I mean, one of the arguments you made is how could they have done it so fast? First time you do something, it takes you X amount of time. Second time you do it, you've got the kinks worked out.
Well, it was all for content anyways.
It was all for content. It was a fun argument. And I mean, it's funny that you would come and say, oh, actually, I saw this and maybe you were right. But
I tried my hardest to find something to back up my theory. Anything. Some weird down the fucking rabbit hole. I couldn't find anything. So I was like, okay, just give up.
Well, here's the thing with Star Wars. There's so much content between the movies. Yes, everyone knows the movies, but there's games, there are books, there's so much shit. And again, the moment I brought this up to another Star Wars fan, the thing they said made me go, oh, fuck, really? Because, I mean, it's not so far-fetched. I mean, again, parts of it maybe, components, but the majority of it would need to be freshly constructed. So let's just say that as a way to try and help the Star Wars community, rather than shitting all over each other over things you don't quite agree on, just look at your person you're talking to and say, hey, I like Star Wars.
Fight.
Do you like Star Wars?
Fight, fight, fight.
Pound it out.
Oh, here we go again.
Because everybody loves a nice set of
I had
tits.
this teed up by now, but oh well.
Are you trying to get the song ready?
Yeah.
You got this.
Don't know where it is.
That's okay. I'll try and entertain everybody.
It'll be on there when it's when you're listening to it.
Oh, that's true. You can kind of just that's the thing I forget sometimes. We can just kind of edit around stuff if we really need to. But yeah, you find that. I'll keep everyone entertained.
The fuck is that? Is that your TikTok? You $1 million man TikTok?
No. I'm showing everybody the Miles and Biscuit scene.
Oh man.
Look at that HD quality.
Hey, Jackass, give us all your stuff.
Oh, I should probably put the
Hey,
mic
he
closer.
can't even hear us. He's listening to music.
You find it yet?
How did you get one of those to work?
I call dibs. You kill a kid.
Whoa, why am I killing the kid?
Okay, wait. We can share it.
Oh, he's got it.
We don't have to report to anyone.
Well, that's not it.
Well, you know what? I'll get my own guns. If you want to play that way.
That's one of my favorite friggin' clips. I gotta ask you a question though. I want you to be 100% honest with me because I've always been curious.
What?
In that moment,
Yeah?
when you were saying that,
I'm never fucking serious. Ever
No.
in my whole life.
that
That's what you're asking.
were you a kind of no? I'm just curious. Were you actually kind of pissed off at me? Like I mean, we just met. We didn't know each other,
No.
and I'm at your home.
I was doing a bit.
And I like an idiot and waving around it, even if it is a prop gun and I know it's unloaded. I waved it at you and unintentionally. And I've always wondered, were you like just
I was mocking somebody else in my life, actually.
really?
Yeah.
Who were you mocking?
I'm not going there.
Okay, you don't have to go there. But I've always been a little bit curious. I'm like, man,
Ex-family member.
oh yeah, I know those fucking types. Yeah, you believe me. There's a lot of stories that I'd like to tell, or a lot of stories that I tell, but I don't name certain details. I know what it's like to navigate that shit. So no worries. But yeah.
So no, it was all a bit.
Well, it was
Everything's
fucking
a bit with
effective
me.
because if you ever watch the video, there's this brief moment where it's through the Pugsley mask, but you can see this bit of fear. Where it's like I'm realizing, oh shit, I pissed this guy off. And I recognize it in my face because I know me. I know, and I remember how I felt. I'm like, oh fuck me, I may have really pissed this guy
I
off.
thought it was a great joke.
Well, I look back at it fondly, and I mean, I don't think we'd be here right now if that was really the case. Have you got it?
I don't know. We'll see what.
All right.
We'll see what this one is.
Here we go. Is that the old clip? That's the clip from the other time when you played it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you
little-
you sent me like you were going to expand on it. You sent me the first kind of draft of
I
the.
never. I wrote up a whole.
You never inputted it?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Look at here's the mug. Here's the
mug?
mug you weren't going to bring.
Yes, I still have it. I still have the mug. I mean, I don't know if I want to open that can of conversation, but it's a question of, is it offensive to use it, or is it offensive to not use it? And I wasn't sure. And
Well, that's the Christmas lights around the corner there.
Yeah, it's almost like well, I don't know. I don't want to offend the 12 people that listen, but it's almost one of those questions I'd like to ask because I mean nowadays people are so fucking touchy about everything. It's like if a lesbian gave you a coffee mug that says "I love lesbians" on it, is it offensive to drink out of that coffee mug? Because your friend gave it, like, because you're not a lesbian, or
gives you the coffee mug.
a lesbian gives you a coffee mug.
Would it be offensive for you to drink out of that mug?
Yeah, you have a
So
friend.
did a black guy give you that mug?
To clarify, my Secret Santa got me a coffee mug of Santa Claus, but it's a black Santa Claus, which
Sorry.
I don't have a problem with.
We can cut this out if you want.
No, I don't know. We'll talk about it later. And I didn't think it would be offensive to drink from the mug because it was a gift. But then I thought to myself,
Who gave you the gift?
it was a Secret Santa. I don't know.
You don't know who did.
I'm not sure who it was. But I do work with some black people, so it could be that one of them gave me the mug. And it's like, oh, okay, thank you. This is cool. It's a nice mug. It's Santa Claus. No problems. But then I thought to myself, if I'm sitting here drinking out of this mug, is there going to be some fucking person who's all like,
Did this person expect you to go to work with this mug and keep it at work?
I don't keep a mug at work. I don't drink a lot of coffee at work. If I do, I buy it and I drink it out of the
Cups,
disposable cups. So I don't know. Honestly, it might have been a regift, which begs more questions. But it was like the Christmas mug I got. Doug was showing me his Christmas mug, and I'm like, here's the Christmas mug I got. I'm not sure if it's going to cause a fucking national incident if I'm drinking from this on the podcast.
I don't think. Why would it though?
Because there's people out there that literally they'll take any little thing and it's completely innocent or it's not meant to be a cultural appropriation. It's a cultural appreciation, and they twist it the fuck around. I'm not saying people out there would do that to me because
What?
I gotta read you something I was writing. It was there's this video, these videos I see of people going like, I'm a single mom. That means I do this, and then they're walking again. I'm a single mom. That means that this happens, and it's like they're walking. They say kind of the thing that they are, and then some thing about that. I wrote one of those, or I started writing one for podcasters. And it was this whole list of things. I gotta try and find this now. It's here somewhere. I did it pretty
We're
recently.
in the Patreon
We are in the Patreon,
timing.
but it's fine. Unless Dr. Sleep is starting to hit. I know I got it here. Oh, okay, here's the list. I'm a podcaster. I mentioned my podcast awkwardly in conversation, hoping you'll ask about it and listen, but you won't. I'm a podcaster. A dozen of my friends told me they listen, but only 4 people have actually rated on Spotify. I'm a podcaster, which means my wife has binge-watched 147 hours of Chicago Med, PD, and Fire, but has only listened to 8 episodes of my podcast halfway through. I'm a podcaster, and I marvel in the fact that I can say all the offensive jokes I want, and no one gets mad because no one is listening. I'm a podcaster, and I have 62 ideas for merchandise, but don't want to spend my own money to create them. I'm a podcaster, and I love knowing that I might not find my audience until I have 700 episodes. I'm a podcaster. Silence. Oops, just did half an episode without the sound recording.
And that.
Yep. I'm a podcaster. When people ask if I make any money or have sponsors, I choke back tears in sorrow. And what's this last one? I'm a podcaster. All my equipment is secondhand, broken, or outdated.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, when that one, what is it? I marvel at the fact that I can say all the offensive jokes I want because no one's listening.
There you go.
I mean,
Bring the mug.
is that episode 21, the mug? And then,
We should just have boob mugs where you drink out of the nipple.
oh my God. Well, I mean, it's heading there. I mean, if we eventually ever did get a sponsor and they were a bit on the raunchy side, they're like, "Hey, we'll provide you with mugs, and for every episode where you drink out of the mugs, we will."
We're sponsored by OnlyFans. Because we're our only fan.
Clip that. Definitely clip that.
And on that note,
Move north.
buy a truck.
Get somebody pregnant.
Good night.
Good night.